we want to share with you one of our greatest creations that we have done in our manifestation journey. Just that last year in August, we decided that Petra and me will manifest her dream vacation, which seemed unattainable for us, and we decided that we'll manifest the money which we need for it.
They have to be with us today. So, when I was on a first retreat from Dr. Joe Dispenza, I heard there one lady, and she was saying that she's going to go to Cancun. And when I checked the prices of a hotel and flights and everything, I realized that this event is not for me, but it would be amazing to go there one day. And then I had a girlfriend. She was born the same day as me, but in a different year, and she was actually saying with me that one day we'll go to Cancun together.
Because Dr. Joe Dispenza has the Cancun event every year, usually in the beginning of December. He has those events, and they're quite legendary.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and it happened that year, actually 2023 it was, that she passed away, and I thought that I would really love that. We promised to each other to go there, and she is not here anymore, and so it was like a backstory about me going there. And then,
And you wanted to also go for your both birthday, because your birthday is on 3rd of December, and it's often around this time the event.
Yes, but we were from Eastern Europe, and we really didn't make that much money in here. You know, average income, like wage, is like 1,000 euros for a lady, which is with the university degree, and in a normal city, not in a Prague, of course. In Prague it's like a much higher. But
you were having a good manager position in a corporation, and you earned around 1,000 euros a month.
I think so, 1,500 maximum. So it wasn't really wage, like money which you could afford to go to Cancun for Dr. Joe's event and pay for the expensive hotel and take the flights and so on. So it was like in my bucket list. It was my dream, and we met with Raphael already. We were together, and
it was not my dream. I didn't know about these events. But when she told me about it, and we were going to other events which cost much less because they were in Europe, we didn't have to have expensive flights. We could choose a Airbnb, cheap Airbnb. We didn't have to get the expensive all-inclusive hotel, which was only for people attending the event. And we were still meeting people there that said, oh yeah, I was in Cancun.
Or we were meeting people and they were saying, oh, it's my dream to go to Cancun.
Yes.
Everybody dreams about it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm one of those dreamers too. You know, and...
But last year in August, we just decided, let's make that dream a reality. Let's go for it. Let's believe in us. Let's
try to make it. Let's manifest it. Let's make it happen. So we manifest enough money, so we will be able to go to that retreat.
I was calculating
to the hotel.
For both of us, flights, hotel, and event costs $10,000 US. So that was our intention, that we wanted to manifest $10,000. If you're a little bit familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, he writes in his book, and also in some of his retreats, he tells to write a letter of the intention which you have, something that you want to manifest. We chose a sea for Cancun, and around it we drew these squiggly lines which represent the energetic field of this reality, that we go to Cancun. And underneath it we wrote the things that we wanted to have, like we have 10,000 euros from nowhere. We go to Cancun retreat in December 2023. We also spend in Cancun some more time before the event and after, so we can enjoy the vacation with all-inclusive.
Yeah.
We absolutely enjoy it. It is a creation of a lifetime. And the process of booking and traveling and registering for the event is absolutely smooth. And our dog Luna is having loving care while we are not at home.
Yeah.
And underneath everything that we wanted, we put the emotions, so we know what kind of feeling we can put in there.
Yeah, and you know, it's usually elevated emotions like happy, empowered, in love with life, gratitude, and so on. And you can see that it has manifested. We made the intention on 16th of September. And 4th of October, we registered for Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat.
Then we knew that it's actually gonna happen.
But we had to take a quantum jump.
Yes.
And we
a lot of them.
A lot of them.
And that's what we want to talk about today.
Yeah, yeah.
So my idea was that before the registration for this event would open from Dr. Joe Dispenza, we would already have that money manifested. But if you have seen our other video where we share with you how we manifested money so we could afford to not work for 5 years, we were also sharing with you that we lost a lot of money. And actually since that event where we have manifested that big amount of money and after some time we lost some, the amount was never going up again to what it was before. From that moment it was only going down. We have been using it for our cost of living, for everything that we have purchased in that time, and the net worth never increased for 3 years. It was just decreasing. Yes, I think about 3 years, 2 or 3 years. And so it was not in our budget to go to a $10,000 retreat if we are saving every single month, that we can just keep our costs to the minimum so we can afford to live as long as possible without working.
Yeah. And then you can say also that I told you that question, right?
Yes. So the money didn't appear. We were manifesting. How did we do it? We were having this clear intention. We tuned into this letter C, Cancun. We were doing walking meditations. And I did it that when I was closing my eyes, I was imagining that I am standing on the beach in Cancun in front of the hotel where the whole group of people are doing a walking meditation together. I was imagining that I feel the sand underneath my feet. I can smell the breeze of the ocean, and just making it a really vivid experience. And you did that too, right?
Yes, I did that too. We were actually very lucky because we were doing our meditations on a very big field, which could really remind like a sunset or sunrise above the sea. So it was nice. And yeah, it was I was doing it, but I was doing it, but I wasn't attached to that it has to happen. And
that was important.
That is important in manifesting, because if you are pushing and it has to happen in a certain time, you know, we were just doing it for fun.
And also when we would open our eyes, we would imagine that we see right now in this moment, we see the ocean in front of us and we see the sand and the palms. We would open our eyes, and even though our reality is showing something else, we would imagine that we see that creation. And we also did other meditations, and it got to a point where we were so good in tuning into being there in the present moment that we were like, oh my gosh, don't even care anymore if it happens or not. Because
like when he was manifesting relationship, also said, I don't even care, I'm feeling so good that it will be fine. Because
we could bring up the feeling any moment, on command. We could bring up the feeling.
Or just we were just good, and right, it was kind of nice. At least
yeah. So we were not attached to it, and also we were speaking. We decided to really speak only in a way that it has already happened. So we would go to buy some bikinis for you, and we were always saying, yeah, this is for Cancun.
And the bikinis were in a sale because it was before autumn, so everything was much cheaper.
Yes,
right?
And we were just really, this one I want to see on you in Cancun, and
We
Or
were
maybe
just
we have to have some hat, you know, we should take the hat when we're packing for Cancun.
We were pretending.
We were pretending. And we really consciously decided to pretend. So it came the day of registration and the money has not appeared out of nowhere as we were manifesting. And I started to be very confused and frustrated because I was like, hey, we really tuned into it so much. I feel like we are there. I feel it has happened. But the money didn't appear. And we went for a walk and Petra was like, hey, how much money do you have on your portfolios and your bank accounts? It's like, yeah, this much, you know, it's $10,000 would be a significant amount of that. But theoretically, we could pay for it. And then she asked a very crucial question. Would it change your life if you would just take that money from your portfolio and use it to go to this event? And
or would it be changing your life to stay here and do nothing and
yes, and just keep the money
and be comfortable for a longer time?
Yeah. Because $10,000, that's like 3 months cost of living for us.
He's still complaining behind me.
He misses his father, Petra's father.
Still complains, but
Yeah.
he's happy dog, right? We take care of him very well.
Yes. So that really got me thinking, Petra's question. What would change if you would use it? Or what would change if you would just save it so you can use it for your living a bit longer? And I was thinking about that, and it was about 1 hour or 30 minutes before the registration. I didn't really have the money ready on my credit cards, which we needed to use for payment. And I was thinking like, okay, let's just do it. Let's just jump.
We just held our hands
Yes.
and just jumped.
Yes.
We were just like crazy, silly people.
I was thinking in the toilet. I was making the decision in the toilet, right? That's where you make the big decisions. And I was coming out of the toilet. I told Petra, make your laptop ready. We're gonna register. And she was like, what? What, really? Are you sure? Are you serious? I'm like, yes, let's do it. So Petra was going on her laptop. I was going on mine. I was still moving a little bit money around so I could pay for the event. And registration opened. And with Dr. Joe Dispenza's events, it's like this, that you have to be there on time, and the event can be sold out from anywhere between 5 to 30 minutes. Completely sold out.
Usually 5 to 10 minutes. You're on
especially
a
an
wait
event like Cancun, where everybody wants to go.
Everybody wants to go to there.
Yes.
For some reason, I think every event is amazing there, but for some reason
people really love that. And also Dr. Joe Dispenza says this, one of his favorites.
During the registrations, we are both on our laptops ready, you know, with the
super
hands like
stressed,
this.
adrenaline
Super stressed.
up on a level 100.
Heart is racing, and then you want to register, and I didn't make it through, and he did.
Well, you were
but
still paying with your credit cards, right?
Yeah, they put you on a wait list. You know that in front of you there is 100 people already probably going to register, and everybody's doing the work, and everybody's manifesting, and everybody, and there is like a lot of pressure, you know. So, yeah, it was a fun thing. It didn't have to happen, but in that moment you just wanna make it. Mommy. And the funny thing was that Raphael made it to the registration and I didn't, but his card didn't work and mine did. And he was still trying, and then I jumped quickly, handed him my card.
Your credit card,
my
right?
credit card.
And I was like, no, I'm not going to use it. Look, it's not working. And I wanted to prove her. Okay, look, I'll just show you that it doesn't work. And I put in her credit card details. I clicked purchase, and
he could be my sugar honey, whatever.
Sugar baby.
Sugar baby. Because I like paid for him the event in that moment, of course. And then we had Universe paying for us the event at the end.
Eventually. We will get to that.
We'll get to that.
So I was registered and my heart was beating, and you know, we were so stressed before because we kind of did it with also a little bit the expectation that it will not work out because we didn't receive the money, so why would it work out? And also, it always seemed for us something out there. And I want to also make a video about this specifically because we often see those people, those Cancun people, you know, they have the t-shirt which says Cancun on it, and those people, you know, they go to these events.
Like this t-shirt too.
Yes, and it was always them and then us.
Mm-hmm.
And we really decided that, okay, let's be them now and make it our normal. Because they are not flying, they don't have wings, they don't fly around just because they go to Cancun. We see them as this, but they're also normal people.
Mm-hmm. So, only to manifest, you have to decide that, or we had to decide that we are going to be open for that possibility, and that we will be just open, you know, it's the word probably which can best describe, because it was so unreachable for us that it was not even possible, like that we almost didn't believe in it. And of course you want to be open for unbelievable things, and so first was to decide, and second, to already make it through the registrations is already big manifestation.
Yes.
Because to get to the event,
it's a sweat
so
for a
many
lot of
people were so upset they didn't make it to the event. Right.
And I was kind of expecting that after we registered that I would feel bad, I would feel overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, this is not my reality, I can't do this. But actually, we were so extremely exuberant and joyful and light, like we just did this quantum leap. We just made it. And it felt so liberating. And in that moment, we did shift timelines. It felt really amazing. And we quickly booked the hotel, and we also decided we'll book the nicest one, which is directly at the event, instead of booking the one which is a little bit cheaper, which is 10 minutes away from it. We wanted to have the full experience.
And then before the event started, we started to have also the questions like how it's going to, you know, we had money for paying for it, you know, but we were still like thinking, hey, is it gonna be okay, and everything, you know, you have the questions, and it's very important to quiet the mind.
Yeah, and we were also not 100% sure if Petra can go into the event because she didn't have a ticket. But we just kind of had to hope or trust that when we are there, that maybe somebody last minute would cancel so she can get a ticket.
We can start already saying how it was to go there, right? It's because it was in December, and it was a huge storm in Europe, and like 200 people didn't even make it to Cancun, and they were very sad, right? That
From Europe.
That's what Raphael told me. And we also had a very crazy traveling, like time changes all the time. We actually came to the train station, and in the train station they said the train doesn't exist, which you're going to
one which
board.
we booked.
It was like from Harry Potter, you know. And I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't exist? And
it's
then
in Hogwarts.
all of a sudden, when we let go, okay, we'll make it out, because it was 4 a.m. You don't know, you know, it's between, you know, worlds already. And then it was appearing in front of me. The train just changed numbers. It was in Austria, and it changed numbers, and it became our train. Right? It just became, and it was because of the storm. They had a lot of problems with trains, and later on we found out they had a lot of problems with planes.
Yeah, so we were going with our train to the airport. We checked our luggage, and we were going to the counter, and then I was going to the bathroom. When I came back, Petra said our flight was rescheduled.
It was delayed.
Postponed,
1
delayed.
hour.
Yeah.
1 hour delayed.
Yes, delayed.
But we had also connecting flight after that. which was within an hour or 2 hours.
We had 2.5 hours time for our connecting flight in Zurich. And we were like, okay, 1 hour is okay, we will still make it. And then it was one more, and then it
But
was...
they said on the counter, they will wait for you. You know, flight to Mexico will wait for you.
The delay was already so late that we would not make it anymore. But they were saying, hey, there are like 20 people on your flight that all need to go on that connecting flight. They will definitely wait for you. So we trusted, we stayed calm. We were also tuning into that everything works out fine.
I think we were
On the airplane, they were telling us.
we were landing and the plane was just taking off to Cancun. Yeah, we just landed to Zurich, and the plane took off. So it was like a very mild time difference, but anyways, we were not lucky. So then we had to stay in Zurich.
We had to go to a line. We had to wait in line to get a hotel for the night and get another flight. And we were waiting there for 5 hours, 5 or 6 hours. We didn't eat all day. We were exhausted. We kept our energy up and like, okay, it's quite an initiation which we have to experience here. And we were a little bit questioning why.
Shall we give up or what? That was also a question.
Shall we go back home? Shall we just cancel the whole trip? And I
because
think
the weather also wasn't very promising. It was really snowing. Everywhere was like a storm. And we woke up very early in the morning and we didn't sleep because we were so excited.
yes,
And still packing in your head. You know how it is before vacation.
And counting also on that we will sleep in the plane.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
yeah, okay, we have there from Zurich to Cancun. That will be 10-hour flight. We'll be sleeping in there.
Yeah, so we had a delay for about a day.
For about a day, so they rescheduled they booked us a new flight, which was then going from Zurich to Paris and from Paris to Cancun the next day. Stayed in the hotel, and we were still questioning, like, why did this have to happen? And I feel it was our selves leaving from that old reality where we see them as those people and we are others. You have a chance to go back to the old reality.
Yeah, it was very much offering us to go back in the old personalities.
And we were thinking about it.
We were thinking about it. I agree.
So, and then when we got to Cancun and we were going to pick up our luggage, my luggage came pretty much last and Petra's didn't arrive.
But I was ready because I packed my swimsuit and some absolute necessary things in my hand luggage as experienced traveler.
And you have me as a backup, right?
And
because I had my luggage.
And he had his luggage, so it was great. So I could use his clothes. It was really fancy, especially on dinners and so on.
But we had to then stroll around the Cancun airport for another 3 hours to try to somehow get just a document that says that she doesn't have her luggage and they will investigate where it is. That's all we needed. And people would send us from one counter to the next. They were not knowing where to put us. They couldn't help us. 3 hours and exhausted, almost no food. Already late at night, we booked an all-inclusive hotel. We missed the first night.
But we were flying with Air France, and they give to you a lot of wine.
Yeah, that was good.
It was just fun.
The reason why we're telling you all this, it might sound boring, but we really want to highlight that when you manifest something, that it might not be exactly as you imagine it, because there are certain blocks, things that are still wanting to keep you in the old reality, and we very much had that chance all the time to remain there.
Yeah, and it's just really playful. The universe is going to give you everything, and you will manifest it amazingly, but there was like this delays and so on, and it gets a bit unpleasant for everybody, but I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it will it will initiate you as well. Your manifestation is going to initiate you anyways. It's not without any lessons will be learned.
And when we got Petra a ticket and it was time to pay, I checked my portfolio and I realized that it is actually in fact about $10,000 higher than it was before we left. And that was then okay, the confirmation, all right, we did it. Now we have what we created. It was a tough journey to get there. We really needed to be persistent and continuously choose us and choose our creation instead of going back and giving up and staying in the old reality.
I would never go to somebody and say, I was there and I am really now experienced meditator or something like that. I am even more humble because of how it all happened, that I would never even maybe say that I was there. I would just let people talk, and I would just be okay. I could just share my story if I'm asked or something. I don't have to show off. It's just for me. That's very important.
Yes.
I became utterly humble there, even more than I was before. So do you feel like those people now? Do you really feel like it?
Yes, but I was imagining it differently.
Me too.
I was thinking that my pool will be more golden after we go to Cancun. But I really realized that, hey, they're just normal people, just like you and me. But we have shifted realities. It is for us now a reality that we went to Cancun. We are not anymore in our past where it was inaccessible for us. Yeah. We say, go for your dreams. You should experience them in this lifetime. Take your chances, take the quantum leap. You will never regret it.
Yeah.
We just say that it's sometimes more comfortable to just dream about things and not actually go for them.
Exactly. If you want to lose weight and have an amazing body, it's much easier to say it and dream about it than to do it. And also, if you want to be an entrepreneur or have a lot of money, you have to change. You have to work for your business, or you will have a lot of money all of a sudden, and the friends which were friends will not anymore be friends. And people will change.
Things are changing when
Things will change.
Yeah, when you go into a different reality.
So be ready also for these kind of effects when you will manifest, because
it's a part of change.
It's part of the change. So if you are truly committed and you want it bad, it's gonna happen. You will get it. You will have it.
It will be yours. All right. Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate you, and we hope that you're going for your dreams.
Yes, definitely go for it, because you will become a different person.
Yes, you'll change.
Yeah, and that's all that soul loves in this planet. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. And they... She feels really good though. You want to leave it on a video?
I don't know.
It was her. It's her. We have to cut it.
Yeah.
She's looking at us. Loony.